This week in the Monday Night War, it is time for SummerSlam 1996, which has the WWF Championship Shawn Michaels versus Vader. And we've also got the first ever Boiler Room Brawl, The Undertaker versus Mankind. Romeo, SP3, Drunk Guy JJ. This is Tru Rewind 75.
This is Tru Rewind. This is Tru Rewind. This is Tru Rewind. This is Tru Rewind.
This is Tru Rewind. This is Tru Rewind.
Hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3. We are back on the Fightful Overbooked YouTube channel for another edition where you gotta fasten your seatbelts, jump in the DeLorean, pump up the flux capacitor as we go back in time to August of 1996 for SummerSlam 1996 from Cleveland, Ohio. Yes, I am here back with the pilot and driver of the DeLorean himself, Mr. Romeo Anthony Colon.
Hello, all. Happy Tru Rewind 75. That's a lot.
It's a lot of Tru Rewinds we have done. And of course, we have with us finally the Kyrie Irvin of Tru Rewind is back with us for episode 75, live and in living color. It is the man of 1,004 drinks, Mr. Drunk Guy JJ.
I don't think the earth is flat. However, when I do show up, I do my thing. So it's good to be back with my good brothers here. SummerSlam 96. Very interesting show to say the least. So let's get this on popping.
Yes, welcome to Tru Rewind, episode 75. Remember to show your support on Fightful Overbooked and for the Tru Heel Heat gang by dropping a thumbs up on this video. Share it with all your friends on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the Fightful Overbooked YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. Closing in on 13,000 subscribers on Fightful Overbooked. You can see my face on a couple of different shows on Fridays usually, but this one is a mainstay of Tru Heel Heat that has come to Fightful Overbooked. So show your support and, of course, subscribe for that. And, of course, if you're watching us live, hit us in the live chat with your thoughts on SummerSlam 1996 and our review. And let us know in the comments down below what you thought about our review, the matches from SummerSlam 1996, and everything else. Like I said at the top, Romeo is the driver of the DeLorean, so he's going to guide us on the path down SummerSlam 1996.
Show us
Yeah.
the way, Romeo. Show us
August 18th, 1996, from Cleveland, Ohio. The Gund Arena, I should mention, on the free-for-all, Stone Cold Steve Austin beat the returning Yokozuna. Harlem World. What is up, Harlem?
All I'm on the rise. All I'm on the rise.
You said
Austin beat Yokozuna. Dave Meltzer gave it a dud. It must have been really, really bad.
It was.
It was one of those matches where Yokozuna accidentally falls off the top rope because of the bonsai drop. But this one, he broke the ring. He broke the ropes, and Austin won that way. Yeah.
On commentary, we got Jim Ross, Vince McMahon, and Mr. Perfect. And we start with Savio Vega versus Owen Hart. Owen immediately grimacing as he comes out, the pain in his wrist on his cast, and that's the story of the match here. Savio working Owen's arm, and Owen trying to use it as a weapon until Savio hurts his shoulder, and Owen works that. Vince teasing dissension in Camp Cornette because Jim's not out there. He's in the back cheering on Vader as he lifts weights. Clarence Mason comes out to get a closer look. Owen eventually takes his cast off to use as a weapon and applies the sharpshooter for the win. The ref could clearly see Owen using the cast, but pretended not to see it. Mason
To be fair, this wasn't the most glaring referee mistake on the night, and you could probably kind of suspend your disbelief and say the referee saw Scott Savio's back and didn't see Owen hit him with the cast.
That big Puerto Rican back pause.
Oh, Justin Hawk Bradshaw randomly talks trash to Vince about Savio and then attacks Savio Vega. It's the proverbial insult added to injury. Dave Meltzer gave Savio and Owen 2.5 stars. What did you think, SP3? I was going to put this on, but no point because Savio
He lost.
sucked.
I give it 2 3/4 stars. I thought Savio and Owen worked well with each other. I like the finish with Savio basically hurting himself with the back suplex off the top rope where he hit the cast first off, and then Owen playing possum and then hitting him with the cast to set up the sharpshooter. I thought that fell in line with Owen Hart, who I said on AE Ramble, and I will say it here again, top 25 in-ring workers of all time. Owen Hart.
Oh, yeah.
Showing
no
why.
question.
Drunk Guy, your thoughts?
2.5. It was what it was. Again, referee playing Mr. Oblivious, and but of course Owen being Owen, so it worked out well. 2.5. An okay way to start the show, I guess.
Yeah, decent opener. Todd Pettingill's in the Boiler Room. And we learned the first person in that match who gets possession of the urn will be victorious. And he's in there to talk to Mankind.
And he acts as Mankind. Well, he just pulls up on Mankind, and Mankind says, "There's no place like home." Oh well, that's my Paul Bearer voice. Excuse me. There's no place like home, Todd. There's no place like home for knowledge and discipline. There's no place like home. But for as much as I love every square inch of these hollow halls, it's time to leave because destiny awaits on the other side. But as for you, dead man, take this simple warning. Do not come in here, because beyond these walls awaits you a fate worse than death. A possible course of events that could alter the future of all mankind. Have a nice day.
You gotta rock back and forth, man.
And very unsanitarily licks the pipes.
Yes,
Pause.
he was licking the pipe, ladies and gentlemen. Puff the magic dragon.
For the tag team championship, it's a 4-way elimination match with the New Rockers versus Skip and Zip. Skip is in a damn neck brace
Like, why? How was he cleared?
with a fractured vertebrae. How do you clear that?
The Ohio Athletic Commission needs to be fired after this.
Versus the Godwins, versus the champs, the Smoking Guns. Marty trips Zip from the outside.
Murderer.
Wow. I was not ready for that.
Did he just say murderer?
Yes, he did. Wow.
Man.
We got
Ministry of Darkness.
to somehow recover from that. Billy pins Zip to eliminate them. Skip survives, not getting in the ring with his fractured vertebrae. Slop drop by Henry on Marty eliminates the Rockers. And Phineas then has the match won with a slop drop on Billy, but the ref gets distracted by Sonny and Hillbilly on the outside. Bart, with a move off the top rope, puts Billy on the pin, and the Smoking Guns retained. Sonny gets on the mic afterwards, ripping everyone in the building.
She loves the mic.
At least they're not murderers in the crowd. And she unveils a huge banner of her.
Her wanted poster.
How you beat me to it? I was dead about to say that. Like, put that picture on the back of a milk carton.
Dave Meltzer gave this match a dud. I didn't think it was
awful.
that bad.
It was
It was
I
no
didn't
star.
think it was that bad.
I'd give it a star.
now.
Yeah, I must give it a star, but it was still bad.
Dave in a rough mood, as you could tell today. Anything else on that?
I mean, I thought it was okay for what it was, but it was very sloppy. It felt like it had no coherent.
No pun intended.
It had no coherent story to it. I gave it a star and a half, mainly for the last portion with the Godwins versus the Smoking Guns. Everything before that really didn't matter. And yeah, Sonny's huge centerfold. Man, 25 years can change how you look at a person.
You know how white people age anyway, so it's not surprising. And plus, it's like you said, literally the last two people in the match was what made the match, so that's why you even get a star.
Next, we have the British Bulldog versus Psycho Sid. First, a promo backstage from Sid with Doc Hendricks.
Doc, stop right here. I know what the question is. Let me give you the answer. See, it didn't start there. It started months ago when I am laying asleep and it came to me. People screaming, Sid, Sid. They screamed. They demanded something. They wanted the man back. And the man is here, my friend. The man is here to stay. And Doc asks him about his matchup with the British Bulldog. And Sid answers, it's funny you say that, because you see, at the international incident, I feel like there was a little something missing. So tonight, Bulldog, it's my chance to take one more step to the top. For when it's over, there will be no question, my friend. And the people will be standing and they will say, Sid, you are the master and ruler of the world.
Big Psycho Sid chants. And Clarence Mason comes out again. Jim Cornette is shown backstage watching the match while Vader preps some more. Bulldog hits Sid with the power slam, but Cornette makes his way to ringside to argue back and forth with Clarence Mason and distracting Bulldog from making the pin. Sid with a choke slam and then a power bomb for the win. Dave Meltzer gave this 1 star.
That's fair. I mean, look who's in the ring. I mean, it's not really. You shouldn't be expecting much anyway going into the match.
Yep.
As for, I mean, the match was really more of an angle to finally pay off with Clarence Mason and
Right.
Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette, let me just spoiler alert, he did not have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. He did not have a good night at all. The only person from Camp Cornette that won, he had nothing to do with it. He was nowhere to be seen and found. But yeah, this was more about Sid just being ridiculously over and them acknowledging it now that the fans seem to love them some Sid. It's people with that name Sid, people love.
Is that it?
Sid's over, huh?
Next, we had Goldust with Marlena versus Marc Mero. First, a look back at Superstars this weekend, where Mankind came up to Sable during a match, calling her "Mommy,
Mommy, Mommy." Yo, I don't know what was funnier, Mankind's delivery or Sable's reaction. Sable was like every blonde chick that's been in a scary movie ever.
Mero's interviewed, says Goldust is going to be a fallen star. And I love Sable's look here. Very creeped out already.
Yeah.
Mankind comes out during this match, does it again. Yep, the same mommy bit. And Sable, absolute horrified. Never seen anything worse in her life.
Right. Mankind's so ugly, huh?
The refs get Mankind out of there. Mero unleashed a shooting star press that he calls Wild Thing. Marlena distracts the refs, though, so Mero doesn't get the 3 count. Goldust with a curtain call that looked pretty good. Goldust, after the match, sexually harasses Sable until Mero makes the save. Mr. Perfect with great advice. Leave the old lady at home. If Mero would have done that, he might have been a star.
I was about to say, clearly Brock has learned his lesson. So
Meltzer gave us 2.25 stars. What'd you think, Sid?
Yeah, I give it 2.5 stars. I thought it was good for the amount of time it got. I think it was more, Mero. I don't understand why he debuted this new Wild Thing finisher if he was gonna lose. Like, why pull it out? Why did he need to do it in this match if he wasn't gonna win with it? I don't understand that. And yeah, Sable's acting was the most funniest bit of this whole entire thing for me. I just couldn't stop laughing. The only thing funnier than Sable's reaction was Mankind running off when the referees came. Like he ran so funny. Like Mankind is the best thing on this show. I loved him every segment he was involved in. He was the best.
Drunk guy, what you think? And what do you think of Mankind being all creepy to Sable, calling her mommy?
Yeah, I mean, she should be my mommy. But anyway, definitely 2.5 stars. Mankind, like you said, like Sid said, Mankind has been great. The whole mommy bit is fucking hilarious. Sable overacting, it just makes it funnier. It was you got creep number 1 in Mankind, you got creep number 2 in Goldust. Like Sid said with the Marc Mero thing, why the fuck would they have him bring that up only for him to still lose? It made no sense. They could have saved that for Raw or something. But yeah, 2.5 stars.
We get an Ahmed Johnson video package recapping Ahmed's situation, the surgery that he had. Will he ever return to wrestling? Some nurse or doctor says if the bleeding stops, he can come back in 3 to 4 months. If it does not, he will lose his kidney and never return. We learned there's going to be an 8-man Intercontinental Championship tournament that starts on Raw. Gorilla Monsoon gets rid of Ahmed's world title shot that he won. He says the last 4 men in that battle royal, Austin, Goldust, Savio, and Sid, will be in a sudden death battle royal on Raw. And the winner gets a title shot at a special Raw Championship Friday of September 6th, which Ahmed Johnson will be watching from home. Ahmed Johnson from the Wrestling Observer newsletter was hospitalized again with further kidney problems. The kidney was bleeding.
Jesus.
And he had surgery to fix whatever's wrong, but it apparently didn't work. And now there's a concern that he may have to get a kidney removed. This work turned into a shoot.
I mean, no, it was never a work. It was actually it was always a shoot because Farouk came in and kicked him right in, punctured his kidney with that kick. Like it was never, it was for real. Like I feel bad for Ahmed. He was on the rise. He felt like he was like this star that they were kind of building along with like newer stars like Mankind and Steve Austin at the time and Goldust, and he was kind of ahead of all of those guys, and now he has to take a step back. It's sad.
Farouk Assad introduced with Sonny to some majestic Spartan music.
I was like, what is this music? Jim Johnson? You outdid yourself.
It's a banger. Farouk wants to know where is his Intercontinental Championship. Pangil says Monsoon has ordered a tournament. Farouk says, does he look like a waiter? Sonny says, have the tournament. He's going to be the next IC champ anyways. What do you think of this little promo here with Farouk getting some mic time?
I hate that fucking helmet.
Yeah, Farouk actually does look like a waiter at a Spartan restaurant. If there was a Spartan restaurant, Farouk would be your waiter. This was
cosplay.
Yeah, Sonny called him her special modern day gladiator, and said that he's gonna win the tournament. Another phrase, Todd Pettingill said that Gorilla didn't want the criminal to get paid for the crime, and Vince quickly tried to make that sound good, like so to speak. Don't want to say the black guy is a criminal.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm trying to stay on the right side here. But yeah, I mean, this was okay for Farouk. He comes off very intimidating with the way he speaks. I don't really see the point of him having Sonny, honestly. It kind of takes some of the attention away from him. So it's no wonder that this partnership, spoiler alert, didn't last too long.
The world's strongest man, Mark Henry was introduced. He's on commentary for Jake the Snake versus Jerry the King Lawler. Jerry the King Lawler in a Ravens jersey, which is very timely. This is the time where the Cleveland Browns got bought out of town and went to Baltimore to become the Ravens. So he got heat here, despite him in real life being a Browns fan.
Exactly. That's immediately what I told wifey as I'm watching this with
It
her.
probably bothered him a lot putting that jersey on.
He brought out Jake's two partners, Jim Beam and Jack Daniels. He clowns Mark Henry for not winning a gold medal at the Olympics. Jerry then offers Jake a deal. He's got a huge bottle of wine if Jake doesn't take out the snake.
This was one of the worst stand-up routines I've ever seen in my life.
It's terrible.
This was this whole segment, this whole match, pre-match, post-match. I was disgusted by a lot of this. I'm sorry, because we know Jake the Snake Roberts was a recovering alcoholic,
especially at this time. Like this is like the height of his recovery.
Yeah, like they literally made a joke out of his whole recovery, and then the post match was just I felt like that was way over the line. I would hope that is not real alcohol. That's all I'm gonna say.
They have the match. Jerry jabs Jake in the neck with one of the whiskey bottles, pulls his tights for the pin.
Yo, I have in big bold letters. How the hell did the referee not see that? That happened right in front of the referee.
Legit in front.
So
like
Harvey, and then we got a whiskey bottle.
Harvey Whippleman needs to fix his glasses. Like he needs another prescription.
And this is the guy, if you remember, he was Harvey was out during matches taking notes on the referee, says he could do a better job, and he does the same thing every other ref does, misses it. After the match, Jerry pours the booze down Jake's throat. Vince said his kids are in attendance. Oof. Mark Henry stands up and makes the save, running Jerry Lawler off. From the Wrestling Observer newsletter.
Oh boy.
Lawler poured a bottle of fake whiskey down Robert's throat, but it's believed that Jake later on said this was actually real whiskey, and he was pissed at Lawler about it because at the time he was really struggling to stay sober.
Yo, this is why I don't fuck with Jerry King Lawler. I don't. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons I don't like Jerry King Lawler. And I have young children that we know how Jerry King Lawler acts around the young children.
Once they old enough to cross the street, you already know.
So Jerry King Lawler's catchphrase is "old enough to count, old enough to mount." But there's a lot of reasons I don't like him. But this whole angle, I've just been like, no. I think this is very disgusting. This is in very poor taste. They shouldn't be presenting Jake the Snake Roberts as this recovering alcoholic type of character if this is how you're going to treat it. Like he shouldn't
be fucking losing to Jerry the King Lawler for one. Especially when the whole feud was King shitting on him. This should have been the moment for him to get his revenge.
That's what you thought it was leading to, right?
Right.
It just got worse. Yikes. That was bad. Bad booking.
Awful.
It is time for the Boiler Room Brawl. The Undertaker backstage heading to the Boiler Room. Paul Bear places the urn at ringside. That's where they got to go from the Boiler Room to retrieve the urn to win. And Undertaker enters. Danger, Boiler Room. He enters. He does a lot of searching for Mankind. He can't find them until Mankind sneaks up on him. And they brawl using whatever weapons are around them in the Boiler Room. Commentary goes quiet a lot early on for the beginning of it. I was like, this is very, very quiet. Guess they were trying to build up the horror aspect of it. I don't know. The crowd boos because there's fake signal problems where you can't see stuff. And at one point, it was for a very long time. Like, I'm like, hurry this up.
Me and Drunk Guy were like, damn, we feel like we back in 1996 when we were watching this on illegal cable. When we had the boxes. When we had the boxes. Yo, you know how many pay-per-views I watched it?
I watched WrestleMania 17 the whole hour.
Me too.
I couldn't see shit.
Me and all my friends that had the illegal box in the same thing when WrestleMania 17 happened. That's when all the boxes went squiggly line, and we didn't care. We kept watching.
Watch that whole shit.
Mankind turns a knob, fires some gas into Taker's face, Later on, he dives off a ladder onto Taker with an elbow drop and then climbs another ladder. Undertaker sits up to tip him off of the ladder, falling down. Taker then with a fire extinguisher to Mankind's face. Mankind escapes the boiler room, barricades the door, but Taker powers through it. Wrestlers watching in the hallway, cheering him on, probably got money on this. Stone Cold and Bradshaw.
You should be fired. You should be deleted, brother.
Mankind then throws hot coffee at Undertaker. And back in the arena, they both make it. Mankind with a pile driver.
He pulled that move out of Woman's Playbook. I put in my notes.
Haven't seen
Hot coffee.
Mankind with a pile driver on exposed concrete. They fight to the apron, and Taker slingshots Mankind off. Mankind takes a sick back bump onto the exposed concrete.
Yep.
And Taker then goes for the urn from Paul Bearer, but Bear turns away from him. And then Mankind attacks Undertaker, hits him with the mandible claw. Paul Bear's laughing. Mankind goes to get the urn, but Taker sits up, more mandible claw, and then Paul Bear slaps and kicks Undertaker. Then he finally cracks Taker over the head with the urn. Mankind takes the urn to win. They laugh together. They're so proud of themselves. They exit eventually, and Taker's music starts to play, but stops. The lights turn off. Then the Druids' music plays. They come out. They carry away. They carry away this martyr. Taker's died for our sins. Dave Meltzer did not rate this match.
But I did.
But I did.
I did. 3 3/4 stars. I rated it on the cinematic scale. You have to rate it on cinematic scales. So it's a scale of the best cinematic matches of 5 stars for the Boneyard match or Stadium Stampede or the Firefly Funhouse, all the way to whatever Braun and Bray Wyatt did at Extreme Rules, the horror show. That's the bottom of the scale. It's somewhere in the middle, so I gave it 3 3/4. I thought it was presented very well, like a horror show, like a horror movie. Mankind was awesome. I have so many notes on this. Mankind squealing like a pig several times.
That's his thing.
It cracked me up.
Harlem just did?
It cracked me up every single time, and he was great. The crowd reacted big to when he low blow Taker with the metal pipe. He then does the running knee to Taker against the garage door. I love the elbow drop off the first ladder, and then when you talked about how he got launched off the other one, and I also put in my notes about the illegal cable box, effect. But yeah, this was a very entertaining. Went throughout the whole boiler room, into the locker room, into the this was a memorable spectacle. That's the best way that I could put it. So that's why I gave it 3 3/4 stars.
And the reason Dave didn't rate this is because this match was pre-taped the day before, so they could edit it as needed. But the in-arena stuff obviously was done live. They edited it, but they edited it to have way too much of downtime with the stupid technical difficulties. Come on.
Maybe they didn't really edit much. They probably didn't have the editing tools back in 1996.
Or maybe they had them, but they were having too much fun with them, I think. Drunk Guy, what'd you think? Good storytelling?
Yes, definitely 3 3/4. I've always enjoyed this match. This is a very enjoyable match. I've seen it especially a couple times. Definitely at the time it was shocking to see Taker be turned on by Paul Bearer, but it made sense. Eventually I had to do something else. See if Taker could be that star on his own without having that mouthpiece in Paul Bearer. And obviously, look what happened. So
I was heartbroken as a kid. This is one of the first turns that I remember being very upset about when I was a kid. When Paul Bearer turned on the Undertaker, I was like, this can't be possible. I was mad. I remember being mad at 8 years old watching this and seeing Paul Bearer turn on him. I love me and my wife watching this together. We both feigned that same type of hurt. Like we wanted to be like 8 years old again and act like we were very upset, even though we knew it was coming. But yeah, it was very effective, and it told the story properly because it was at King of the Ring where he cost the Undertaker the first match against Mankind, and he's like kind of been so kind of iffy in this whole feud with Mankind, so it really made sense to kind of pay it off here. And of course this would continue on. This rivalry is very the defining feud of both of their careers, which is why Noelle Foley was right that Undertaker should have mentioned her father in his Hall of Fame speech. I'll say it once, I'll say it again, I'll say it till the cows come home. I want to interview Mick Foley and ask him about it, and ask him, how did you feel when Undertaker forgot to mention you?
For real, because honestly, we all know Hell in a Cell that made both of their careers. Like, they're known, they will always be synonymous with each other. From Mankind's debut to literally everything, Buried Alive, Boiler Room Brawl, Hell in a Cell. Like, so it was kind of weird. But 3 3/4, I don't think I give my rating, but 3 3/4 for sure for this match.
So it was the right time for Paul Bearer to be separated from the Undertaker.
Yeah, they were together for by that time for 6 years. And now Undertaker was one of the top baby faces in the company. So I'm sure they wanted to test out to see what he can do on his own without a mouthpiece.
And this was all about sympathizing the Undertaker, making him more human. This whole feud was pretty much, that was the goal for the Undertaker, was to make him more humanized. And Paul Bearer, their connection, their relationship, him turning on him, got more sympathy from the fans for the Undertaker.
It's Vader time. It's Vader versus Shawn Michaels for the WWF Championship. Shawn kisses an underage girl on the lips during his entrance.
I was like, Chris Hansen, where you at?
He probably got the idea from watching WWF in '96.
Oh my God, I just noticed this fan on the right. Do you see him?
Yeah.
You see what he's doing?
Yeah, he got his
oh my, I did not see that.
I don't know if it's at Shawn or at the girl.
Oh jeez. Shawn brings the fight to Vader early with Vader style. He's got some kicks that he clearly taught Bryan Danielson once upon a time. And then Shawn does what he does to all the ladies. Ground and pound, ground and pound, ground and pound.
Oh my God.
I've seen some sunny days, my friend.
Vader slows things down. He's got a powerbomb on the outside. Shawn in ring eventually sets up for the elbow drop and lands on his feet and yells at Vader to move. He kicks him in the head. Shawn and Vader then talk.
That was so uncalled for too. Like, it was just like you could. Yeah, the kick to the head, that was a little much. And the yelling of move, no one would have known that he was supposed
and
to.
Vader probably, he's actually pretty brave. You can tell Shawn must have been high before this match for him to do that to Vader. He didn't lost his motherfucking mind. Surprised he said allowed to tell that story.
Absolutely. He lucky Vader didn't snap on him.
Oh, I'm shocked Vader remained very professional.
Yeah, exactly.
They talk way too much. You could hear them calling spots, and Shawn crossbodies Vader over the top rope. Shawn pushes away the camera in frustration. What did the cameraman do to you, Shawn? Vader drops Shawn on a guardrail, and Shawn gets counted out. And Cornette grabs the mic, complains, dares Shawn to get back in there and restart the match. Shawn says, fuck it, all right. And Shawn makes his comeback in the ring. Elbow drop, sets up for the super kick, and Cornette grabs him and tosses a racket in the ring. Shawn gets it and beats Vader up with it for a DQ. Then he beats up Jim Cornette with it too. And Vader grabs a chair. The refs have to separate him. Cornette on the mic again says he got DQ'd on purpose. Dares him to continue the match. And the match gets restarted again. Shawn with another elbow drop. Sweet chin music that Vader kicks out of. Then there's a ref
barely, very barely. If it kind of was like, I think Vader forgot to kick out, honestly.
Ref bump, power bomb by Vader. New ref. Shawn kicks out of that. Vader goes for the Vader bomb, but Cornette tells him to go to the top rope for the moonsault. Vader misses it. And then Shawn Michaels hits his own moonsault for the pin and the win. Shawn Michaels still WWF champion. Dave Meltzer gave this 4 stars. What did you think, drunk guy?
One thing Sean is gonna do is have a great match with a big guy. Pause. Um, it was very enjoyable. Outside of all the extra shenanigans that was fucking unnecessary, I see what they were trying to do. They're trying to make it. I mean, like trying to keep Vader strong by making it look like, oh man, Sean has to do all this, all the nonsense to go on for him to even get a cheap victory. It was over. Like it was a little overbooked. I to this day, I still enjoy this match very much. This was a dope ass match. Bullshit aside, so definitely I give this 3 3/4.
SB3.
Yeah, outside the few spots where Sean just got was being Sean in 1996. This was a lot of fun. I thought that him and Vader worked well with each other. Like Drunk Guy said, Sean just knows how to work with the big guys. He gets beaten up. His selling is very well, and then he knows how to make these comebacks that are believable. Because sometimes it's not believable when these little guys make their comeback or get a lot of offense on a bigger guy. But Sean made it work, and he made it work here. The overbooking, it had a point, and it did protect Vader in the end, because regardless of Shawn getting the win in the end, Vader beat him twice. Vader beat him twice, arguably 3 times, if you could say that he would have got the win on the power bomb before the new referee came in. So he could say that he beat Shawn Michaels 3 times, and Shawn only beat him once. So if this was an Iron Man match or a 2 out of 3 falls match, Vader is really the winner here. But I like Shawn getting the win here. I gave it 4 stars as well. This was a very entertaining main event.
How many people had kicked out of Sweet Chin Music by now?
At this time, nobody. I think.
I don't think so. I think Vader.
That was kind of wild that he kicked out of that. Let's wrap this up. Match of the night. I'm gonna go with the Boiler Room Brawl. Just it's the first of its kind. It was just something we hadn't seen, so I'm gonna go with. Even though those technical difficulties bother me, I don't think they bothered me as much as the restarts in the main event. So I'll go with that. What do you guys got?
Okay. Always. I guess I go with Boiler Room Brawl too. I've definitely watched that match way more than Sean Vader.
I'm going to go with Shawn and Vader. I thought that was the best match because of the technical difficulties in the Boiler Room Brawl. And the Boiler Room Brawl was mostly Mankind beating the crap out of Undertaker in the Boiler Room itself. Undertaker barely got any offense in the Boiler Room part. So I think I enjoyed Shawn and Vader just a little bit more than that one.
MVP, I'm going to give to Mankind. Who's your MVPs?
This might be unanimous. I'm going with Mankind as well.
100%. All across the show, not even just for that, but the Boiler Room Brawl.
Yeah, because he was also in that mommy.
Yep. The mommy and the promo about the Boiler Room Brawl. He was great in everything he did.
And he beat Undertaker again. He's basically been owning Undertaker.
2-0. 2-0. The new streak. 2-0 against the Undertaker.
And LVP, I'm going, unfortunately, Jake the Snake Roberts. Yeah, it's bad luck. I mean, it's not his fault, but the way he's getting booked is just that he got owned there by Jerry the King Lawler. He got owned.
You gotta own up to it,
I didn't put Jake, but you're actually right. So I'll go Cole LVP. I'll say Jake the Snake Roberts and Jim Cornette. Like I said, Camp Cornette did not have a good night. He talked to himself. He could have just walked away and Vader would have been the winner. But he kept talking. He could have waited. He could have made it how many times Bulldog got a bunch of rematches against Shawn. Like he could have waited for.
They wanted the title that night.
I understand.
At SummerSlam.
He's tired of losing.
He talked himself into a loss, basically. and the only guy in Camp Cornette that won, he had nothing to do with it. And then he was the cause of Bulldog losing. So he caused Bulldog
and Vader because he told Vader to go to the top rope.
Yeah. He caused Vader to lose. He caused Bulldog to lose. Like Jim Cornette is the biggest loser on this show.
Who's yours, drunk guy?
Was Sid, man, he makes valid points here. Definitely co-LVP. Jim Cornette and Jake the Snake. Jesus,
He
Jake
was
the
about to
Snake
call him
Rider.
Jake the Drunk. Oh,
Did you say Jake the Drunk?
I didn't say. I stopped myself. I said
You were
Jake the
going
Snake.
to? I'm not gonna let you guys be alone, so I'll give it to Cornette too. Dual LVPs all over. We'll put our thumbs out in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up, thumbs middle, or thumbs down for SummerSlam '96. 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up for me.
Thumbs up, really? You only had 2 good matches.
that saved the show. Honestly, I like this is back in the day where you're not gonna get the tape of like AEW pay-per-views or New Japan pay-per-views, not even the WWE pay-per-views of like the 2000s that you had a whole bunch of like good matches up and down the card. With these
What they tried to
pay-per-views,
sell delivered, I guess. In that
yeah,
episode.
what the matches that they pushed the most, which was the Boiler Room Brawl and the main event for the WWF title, they delivered. So it's a thumbs up show. That's
I'll
usually
put it
how
right
it
here. I
goes.
won't have it in the middle. I'll have it like crooked a little bit.
Let's rate this on a scale of 0 to 10. I'll give it 6.3. What'll you give it, Sid?
I'm gonna give it 6 out of 10.
Okay.
5.75.
That's so fancy. That's the pay-per-view buys. For reference, I'll go back all the way to King of the Ring, which did 197,000. What do you think this did, Drunk Guy?
Can you rate it 197,000?
Yep.
205.
205. Sid?
206.
Drunk Guy's closer.
Damn,
It
I
went
should've
down,
done
way down.
Oh,
150,
man.
157K.
Jesus Christ.
that.
King of the Ring
Wow.
was a bigger fight rate than
Yes, King of the Ring did
SummerSlam?
40K more than this.
To be
What was
fair,
the main
King of the
event?
Ring was a better show. It was a better show. We had
The main event
3
was,
good matches.
Shawn Bulldog for King of the
Yeah,
Ring, right?
Shawn and Bulldog was great. Austin and Mero was great.
Darryl, yeah.
And Undertaker and Mankind was great. So that had 3 good matches on the show. So
Still kind
I
of
guess-
crazy because you would think like a Boiler Room Brawl, like one of its kind, like especially during this time, is something you would want to see. I guess not.
Also, they were coming off the heels of that In Your House, which did the worst pay-per-view buys, like 97K or something like that.
I guess
People
people
were
want to save their
annoyed by
money for
that.
King of the Ring. They want to save their money for King of the Ring, so I got King of the Ring.
That was
tag.
after King of the Ring. That was after King of the Ring. That In Your
yeah,
House.
What,
international
it's
incident.
my international incident. Okay.
Yeah. So there you have it. That is SummerSlam 1996 as WWF continues to do bad ratings on Raw and even bad pay-per-view buys to match it.
Way to go, Sean. They're doing great. They're doing great with you at champion. Oh well, yes. Look at this man. Look at this man getting those big numbers.
He's gonna
But
blame
yeah,
Vader.
absolutely. Move. Let us know in the comments down below what you thought about SummerSlam 1996 and our review. If you gave it a thumbs up, thumbs down, match of the night, MVP, LVP. This has been our review of SummerSlam 1996. Drunk Guy, please let the people know where they can find you, sir, and what you're doing on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel.
You can follow the kid on Instagram, hacksaw_J_Duggan. Twitter, Drunken Max is JJ. Facebook, my name is my name. If you don't know my name, don't try to add me. I am here every Monday. It must be Mondays. Every Monday, Raider All Superstars, me, my good brother Romeo, Tru Heel Josh, Wendy, even the Prince. This looks cool. I like that picture. Bianca look like a bad biddy. We are, and also Wednesdays, I usually pop up on Dynamite watch-alongs as well. Or pay-per-view watch-alongs. We got some pay-per-views coming up in the coming weeks. Yeah, Tru Heel Heat. You already know where the gang is at. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, browsers, Pornhub, Xvideos, Twitch, Christian Mingle, eHarmony, Live Harmony, MySpace, StoneX, Black Planet, Latino Planet. We are everywhere. We are everywhere. We are all over. We do our thing. Tru Heel Heat the gang. Come on.
You forgot Farmers Only.
Farmers only. Yes, we have a new site. We just created the account last night. Farmers only.
God.
We do our thing, man.
We're like the God.
Farmers only. And Romeo, the pilot, the driver of the DeLorean, let them know where they can find you, good sir.
Tru Heel Romeo, Twitter and Instagram. I'll mention the stuff Drunk Guy didn't mention. NX3 on Tuesdays. You can catch me on there watching WWE NXT. I'm making the most fun out of it possible as I can. And yeah, looking forward to the next Tru Rewind. Raw's gonna have that IC title tournament start. They also got that battle royal to determine a new title shot for the WWF Championship. Nitro's coming off Clash of Champions.
Bro,
Who
I'm
knows what they're gonna
confused.
do
I
there?
was so confused. I'm like, wait, what Raw are we talking about? What are you talking about?
I said Tru Rewind.
I know. I was about to say. Sorry, I started watching the game. I apologize. Like, wait, what?
But yeah,
Yes, Tru Rewind 76. You got Nitro's got Sting and Luger versus Arn Anderson and Ric Flair as we are on the road to Fall Brawl and going to see if WCW can turn the tide against the NWO. So we will be back on the Fightful Overbooked YouTube channel for that. You can
NWO
find-
more competition than WWF right now.
This is true. You can find me on the Twitter machine at Tru Heel SP3. I'll be back on the Fightful Overbooked YouTube channel this coming Friday, 8:30 a.m. with Jeremy Lambert as we talk about the NBA playoffs. We talk about your favorite trash
That
reality shows. Of course, you had to say that. Where the Knicks? How the Knicks doing? Oh,
They've
yeah,
won
that's
as many playoff games as the Nuts.
That is true.
Couldn't
And
wait
you
to
can
use
also
that, huh?
you can also see me at 10 a.m. Eastern time on Friday with Steven Jensen as we are transforming Degrassi Dudes. We're gonna do Degrassi Dudes one week and then Nerds of the 90s. And this week we're gonna be doing a very special episode, Funny or Die, where we talk about the more dramatic episodes of famous 90s sitcoms. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. So check that out over on the Fightful Overbooked YouTube channel. Of course, drop the thumbs up on this video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to Fightful Overbooked, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And if you want more from us on Tru Heel Heat, follow the gang at Tru Heel Heat on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat for even more exclusive content, the Tru Heel Heat Prediction Championship, plus much, much more. So for Drunk Guy JJ, for Romeo, it is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3. This has been Tru Rewind, episode 75, WWF SummerSlam 1996. We are signing off until next time. Mommy!
Why? Why, Paul? Why?